Hello and welcome back to Reflection 3. The drugs don't work. My name is MC Man Paris. I'm your honest guide and host. You're listening to episode 5, The Edge, where hardcore mutated into jungle. It's September 1992. The Eclipse closed over summer and the building had a major refit. A new chapter in Coventry's dance music story has begun. Open your mind as we take you back to the edge. Bam Bam Linus, Amnesia House.
And I knew this person on quite a good terms, friendly terms. He asked me to invest in it, borrow some money to him. I lent him quite a substantial amount of money.
Legendary DJ Mickey Finn.
To make the box attractive again is the answer, and to make people want to come to that space again. New improved sound system, new improved lighting system, which is the be-all and end-all for your punters.
Justin Holt of EFX Sounds.
Totally different. The Eclipse to the Edge, totally opposite, was like chalk and cheese.
The legendary Groove Rider.
Back then, music moves fast, so yeah, it wasn't a surprise to us, like the Eclipse changed into something else when it became the Edge.
It was a shithole when it was being shut down. This lad did invest in a lot of money in it and reopened it as the Edge. Financially, the club was still in a bad sort of place.
Jamie Payne, aka DJ Euphoria.
It looked like they'd actually, in the Eclipse, gone in and taken over the bingo hall and just stuck lights up here and there in the sound system. The Edge had spent money on.
LJ High, DJ and record producer.
It was a brilliant venue, nice and dark and moody, and it was, normally packed. So you can just get away with a lot more, and you can be a bit more experimental.
Where they had temporary dance risers, now they'd built permanent ones at either side. So each side was a big concrete with a fence on it as well, so you didn't fall off. And the sound system was suspended from the ceiling as well. It was just amazing. It's so crisp. The atmosphere in there was different to the Eclipse as well. And the Eclipse was more hedonistic.
Neil Tricks from Coventry record label Banging Tunes.
What I think happened when the Eclipse faded away and the Edge came in, it was clear that the Edge was going to be a venue.
Can't stop the bum rush.
Jason K, Top Buzz DJ.
I like the club. I like the way you could walk around the top of it and look down. I can't remember any difference in the sound systems. I thought they was all thumping.
This is the whole part where we do what we do, because if you want the music to progress, it can never be the same. We were laying the foundations of that back then.
Jumping Jack Frost, DJ, author and co-founder of V Records.
I didn't notice the difference. All I knew is that they'd changed the name. Most of the time, when I turned up there, it was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I always played late sets. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I'd be there and I'd see Doc Scott. Doc Scott was so young then. The Eclipse, the Edge, same thing to me. We just go there, bang it out. Do you know what I mean? People were having it large. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of love in there, a lot of love in there, man.
This is DJ Slipmat playing at 7 in the morning on the 18th of September 1992, the last set on the opening night of The Edge.
DJ Box, please. Let's see loud and nasty. To the DJ Box. Right about now, you're in tune to the sound of DJ Slipmat. Edge posse in a blaze. Let me hear some noise.
Neville Fivey, Amnesia House.
The likes of Neil Tricks and stuff like that, and Fallout and that, like, I thought they had their own sound sort of thing. Like I thought it was a bit different to your Groove Riders and stuff like that.
Ratty was one of my, nearly every party I played at one point, I was on either after him or before him. Do you know what I'm saying? And we got a really good relationship. Tango, rest in peace, my brother, was a bloody musical genius at the time. He was such a humble guy. Do you know what I mean? But he made some great tunes. I mean, DJ SS from Leicester, just like literally up the road, was formidable and prolific at that time. He probably put out about 20 records a month on his labels at that time. So there was a lot of activity coming out of the Midlands.
Rob Gray of Distortion Crew.
Tango, Ratty and Fallout, it's the sound that was coming out like of Leamington sound, that Kenilworth area at the time. And then I would say they introduced the darkness to it, the dark melodies to the beats.
Some of the darkcore was really good, to be fair. Like, I think Ratty really came into his own in 92, 93.
What really got me into making music back then was packed out night at the Edge. And I was upstairs on the balcony, just looking over and watching everyone sort of, the whole floor was bouncing, it was amazing to look at, it's just everyone sort of moving as one. Jamie Tango come and stood next to me and they were playing his track. And I was just sort of like looking at him and looking at the crowd and looking at him, and he's just soaking up what everyone's, that must be the best feeling in the world, if you know what I mean, just watching people, dancing to your music.
DJ and producer, Kenny Ken.
For me, it went from hardcore to jungle techno. And then that's when jungle started. That's when they started to take out the fall to the floor now and just have just break beats.
Here's DJ Ratty mixing it up inside the Edge.
What the Midlands is good at doing is taking bits of the country and turning it into its own. And that's what we do really well. And we create our own unique sound. We didn't realise that that sound was being exported to the rest of the country.
Simon Colebrook of Two Bad Mice.
When we were looking at people like Doc Scott, Tango, Ratty, Essence of Aura, you know, those guys were kind of pioneering that sound. This is kind of where stuff's going now. That was when I contacted Jamie and the Essence of Aura guys and said, you know, I'd like you to work with us on projects at Moving Shadow. I mean, Goldie speaks about it quite a lot, this kind of light going into dark sound. A lot of the guys that were from this area were pioneers in that sound.
Scott and Keith Suckling were mostly two of my good friends up there in the early days. You know, NHS is a huge tune everywhere by Scott, you know.
Music had completely changed. You were then really at the beginning of early signs of drum and bass and jungle. The difficulty the Edge had is that music was changing so quickly, and it was very difficult for any club to put a stamp on what they were, their identity. You know, how did they market what they were?
By that time, me and Brian G had started our label, V, right, in 1992. So we started experimenting with some jungle kind of stands in there, but very dark. That time it was the dark side. So we were playing like some dark side stuff. Essence of Aura, Neil Twix. Neil Twix is from Cov. And, you know, Scotty from Cov. So, you know, there was a lot of dark side stuff. And the beginning of jungle was kind of, you know, you had Fabio and Groove at Rage, and we brought that kind of sound, that's a Coventry as well. And we had that dark side sound with the hardcore. It was all in bed together.
I found a lot of promotions were using it as a venue, so you'd have a lot of outside promotions. You'd have banging tunes, Amnesia House, your Fibre Optic, Jungle Fever.
The Edge was just a shell. It's like going to a blank art gallery. The spirit of the Eclipse actually did go into the Edge because they had a legacy to follow.
What's my favourite night there? Wow. Yeah, that's really difficult.
The Rat Pack, live at the Edge, Saturday special in 1993.
This is the captain of your ship, and we'll keep you rocking. We're about to take you on a trip, so start packing. This is the captain of your ship, and we'll keep you rocking. We're about to take you on a trip. So start packing. Go, 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 go. Everybody jump around. Go, 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 go. We are not just crazy trash around. This is the captain of your ship, and we'll keep you rocking. We're about to take you on a trip. So start packing.
Hardcore, innit? Early jungle. But they were one of the same thing. You know, it all mixed together, innit? It was all together. And then hardcore became something else. But it was all hardcore at that time. You know, all the divisions started happening, and hardcore became what Dougal was doing and all those guys at some point. I don't know when that happened, but I thought hardcore was jungle, everything.
We were sticking with our format, the Groove Riders, the Jumping Jack Frost, the Mickey Finns. We stuck with them all the way, you know, like, and we sort of went along with them, if you know what I mean. Now, Sasha, obviously, the lots of Sasha and your Parts and Wilsons, they went another direction.
So you're still talking about hardcore, but you're now, for me, seeing a good infusion of reggae samples, reggae bass lines, and I think that it got noticed how much people loved it, slowly but surely. This is just my opinion. The jungle scene was born.
This is Terminator by the Roughage Crew.
Terminator being played at the Edge and just watching the crowd, and they just got it. You know, there was some groundbreaking records.
MC Hi-Fi, Edge resident.
People used to move to that, and you'd look at them and you'd think, well, what actually are you dancing to, mate? But they were bam, 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 all over the place, not actually hitting a beat at all, but it looked wicked.
It was so family orientated. I was there nearly every week. A month didn't go by when I wasn't there. Do you know what I'm saying? At least once a month, sometimes every week I was there.
And you've got to remember as a DJ, it's easy to play safe. The good thing about the Edge and the Eclipse was that people didn't have to play safe. They tried new music.
This is Simon Colebrook telling us about the creation of Deep Blue's iconic jungle tune, The Helicopter.
I do remember Sean playing me the Helicopter tune for the first time. And you know what, I doubt, it wouldn't have had a title, I suppose, because when he played it to me, it had no helicopter at the beginning of it. And he said that I think it needs a bit of an intro, and obviously he then came up with the helicopter noise, which I think was a preset on one of his keyboards, and yeah, it's the stuff of legend now. It's one of these seminal jungle anthems from back in the day, but it's so utterly simple. You know, I've seen video of it just smashing Notting Hill Carnival to pieces. He went out and bought equipment to make tracks with from our royalty checks that we got from Bomb Scare and stuff. I went out and bought a Sega Mega Drive. I mean, Sean was like, yeah, I'm going to go and make some music, and he obviously came up with the Deep Blue alias, and you know, to go in and have a play around with some kit and to create such a monstrous anthem is just totally bonkers. And I'm sitting at home playing Sonic the Hedgehog on my Sega Mega Drive.
This is Groove Rider playing the Edge in 1993.
It was a different kind of energy. It was a kind of energy, and it did play with your moods. Do you know what I mean? It was very mood swingy music, darkcore, yeah. It's just a very Midland sound.
Toz from Distortion Crew.
And if you're into your techno, it was a natural progression for the dark sounds, because it was all about the bass, it was all about the noises, the melody. It actually a direction, it actually took you somewhere.
This is Champion Sound by the Q Project.
It was all breaks by then, the majority. You might get the odd 4/4 tune in there, but majority of breaks. Still a little bit of hardcore-ish, certain sounds in there, but it had mutated.
The jungle sound is it covers a wide spectrum in my eyes, because, you know, I'm one of the people that founded this thing. Jungle was the banner, and all of these things come out of that.
DJ Hype, record producer and founder of the True Players label.
The evolution was the jungle sound was played in those high, it was there, but it wasn't the only thing. And then over time, it span off into its own thing.
So you ended up getting people like Jungle Fever, for instance, coming from London up to Coventry. And it was nice to see that people like Jungle Fever was coming out of London to the Midlands.
DJ Ron playing Jungle Fever at the Edge, 22nd of January 1994.
Original dancehall red. Hey, with the sounds of the running, no such a dog in the mix. It plays original junglist. The sounds of the running, no such a dog in the mix. The one the song was to make a jump in a this. So all of the crew, junglist. Original Chris Biscuit. Calling the Governor General of the Eastman to the stage. Yes, Eastman, wanted at the stage, ASAP. Refreshments needed. Okay. Maximum respect.
This is Eastman, co-founder of Jungle Fever and founder of Cool FM.
Back in the day when we had Fever, it was like a DJ would come hour and a half before, maybe 2 hours before his set, have a rave, have a party, and then he'd get his set time, he'd play, and then he'd still say, some of them, you know, a lot of them guys back in the day go, fuck it, I'm not going to have a booking, I'm staying here, man, because they was enjoying themselves so much.
Rich Raindown, co-founder of Jungle Fever.
The parties went off. They were superb parties.
So that night, Jungle Fever was like a full-blown dance hall. You had Ragga Twins, Navi, 5-0. It was a full-on jungle fest. Do you know what I mean?
When I done the bookings, as I said, I done a lot of MCs. I was moulding it off of the sound system, the reggae sound system days with lots of artists, lots of entertainment, hard entertainment all the time, visual, vocally, talent.
And that venue was perfect for it because you had the 2 balconies, yeah? You had the floor downstairs, the sound system was popping.
It was the first sort of full-on jungle event to be taken out of London. Can't even remember, was it end of 93?
And I'd already been part of Jungle Fever in London, so to come down to Coventry with it, it was just like crazy because you had all the Manchester lot come up, you had the lot from Birmingham, you know what I mean? It was absolutely, it was a groundbreaking night, groundbreaking.
That event, and looking at it and analysing it, not just for the DJ bit, but actually what it meant to me, I left there, what's the word, spiritually lifted. Globally, I'd never seen that. It wouldn't have happened in Europe. It wouldn't have happened anywhere else, and it didn't. So yeah, it was a British, unique thing. Is it because it was in Coventry? Maybe.
DJ Brocky and MC Det, live at Jungle Fever at the Edge, 22nd of January 1994.
Fever crew, step car, Burkhouse. Make your body run as well. Jungle Fever crew, we're rocking you. Rolling, rolling, rolling bass, Fever pace. Whistle massive, horns crew. Rolling bass. People could you know the pace? Climbing in through windows, jumping over walls, just to where the jungle is in hardcore. Climbing in through windows, jumping over walls, just to where the jungle is in hardcore. DJ Brocky, Ty Simon, DJ Brocky, rolling bass.
It was a really good time for Coventry. You turn up, see just queues of people outside, just Crazy, crazy times.
Was Coventry one of the birthplaces of jungle and drum and bass? I would 100% have to say yes. There were limited venues across the whole of the UK.
Anyway, so we ended up at the Edge in Coventry. 2 brilliant parties just before the Christmas '93. Stuart, who runs the Edge or whatever. At the time, I think he'd just come out of jail for hitting somebody with a baseball bat or whatever.
Back then, Shut Up and Dance used to make a lot of really hard, like ragga soundboy killing jungle that I loved. But a lot of events I was playing at back then that were more rave, hardcore, not pure jungle raves, can't play them. I had stuff that was sitting on for a year. So for me, I was really looking forward to playing it at this event. And it was Brocky just phoned me up saying, like, Eastman said, you're doing it.
It was called licking wood, innit? Everyone used to bang the walls and everything, and whatever they could bang, like when they wanted a rewind or the tune was good.
Red Light, aka Shut Up and Dance, with a tune called Dangerous. With the new music came different and darker drugs. This is a critical moment in the dance scene's drug culture. Listen and learn.
Drugs influence the moods in the parties. So, at that time, people were taking a lot of cocaine. There was a lot of people smoking crack. Yeah, it was fucking fucked up. People like wired in the parties. And but it had a vibe. Do you know what I mean? It had a vibe until it went too far.
But for me, crack ruined it. A lot of people don't like to say it, but I'm going to say it. It's a taboo subject, but crack. As soon as that started, you could smell it in the atmosphere. And hands in the air changed to hands in pockets, backs on walls and moody.
I did smell that stuff in the Edge, you could smell it in the air. So people were actually doing that in there as well.
So did the music change. Now, a lot of producers won't admit to you, but they started messing with that shit as well. And, while they're messing with that shit, smoking that, and they're producing their tunes, it comes through. It comes through, it blatantly does, you know what I mean? The producers in the early days, they'll tell you straight. They would have a little half a pill and getting a computer on doing their thing, do you know what I mean? But then the darkness started to come in.
This is Jumping Jack Frost, playing at the Edge in August 1993. Daylight Robbery's Roger Germain.
I had an incident one night. You had to get tickets from the record shop over the road, Moonshine. I had my ticket, and a guy from London tried to take my ticket off me. He's in our city, and he's trying to take my stuff. And if that's going on, you ain't really want to be going out to them places. So everybody was trying to get something for nothing, every angle they could get.
There were so many people made their weekend money. They made their week's money off going to a rave and robbing people, selling doffs. And I found that Cov people, we seem to we didn't just go to party, we went to profiteer. Sometimes that's why it seemed like everyone was on the rave.
The manager that owned the Edge, who I actually borrowed the money to, done something wrong and ended up in prison, We'd done a few events there, struggled to get my money back out of there. Then one day we'd done an event there and I sort of basically had to steal my own money back and sort of take off with it, which I didn't really like doing. But when he got out of prison, he said to me, I do appreciate what you've done for me. I didn't like the way you done it, but I understand why you done it, sort of thing.
I mean, I obviously don't know the ins and outs of what went on in the background, but I think if you keep a place fresh, it's got half a chance. When you keep doing the same thing in there time and time again, the spectacle's gonna kind of start wearing a bit thin. Was it the difference between the Eclipse and the Edge? Because it's another name above the door, right? It's still the same establishment.
But when it got to Jungle, I wasn't that keen on it personally myself. I mean, I found it attracted a moody crowd at one stage, like, you know, and it was a shame to see that happen, where when we were doing our earlier events, the atmosphere, the music, it brought people together. This, I felt like it attracted a sort of a moody element, you know, with a lot of gangs turning up from other cities and stuff like that.
It almost went back to what 86 was, and that was right. We've gone through this summer of love, but now we're angry again. And that's where the music went as well. So we went back to that violence, and that, unfortunately, to me, is one of the downfalls from Coventry.
Yeah, it was sad times when the Edge closed, but sadly you could see it declining. DJs not showing up, with you know, the club closing early on particular nights. Yeah, it was a sad thing.
Really moody, dark, dingy, freezing cold because they didn't pay the gas bill. So you'd have them turbo gas heaters in the corners just blowing the heat.
Right up to the night when it was the closing night, you know, when they had Top Buzz on the last set. And then it was really emotional that it was all going to close, and you know, this new thing that, you know, Coventry had was getting taken away again.
Things happened just off that ring road that are worldwide, and people talk about them worldwide, and that can't be forgotten. That can't be taken away. It's there now. It's ingrained in history.
This is DJ Ratty and MC Mad P. Last set of the night at the Edge, August '93.
Now power to the people. Up, down, down, go where you go. People in the battle where they can't let go. Love you to the bone, love you to the molecule. Aye. I believe that's it, Edge. Nice to see you nice.
Written, produced and directed by Adrian Patrick Dowling. Sound recordings, Ron Samuels and Edward Taylor. Voiceover by MC Man Paris. Offline editing, Jonah Winkless. Sound edit and mastering, Duncan Whitley. Trainee assistants, Jamie Shufflebottom, Roman Dowling and KD Dowling. This is a Daylight Robbery production. Well, thanks for listening to Reflection 3, The Drugs Don't Work. We hope you've been educated and entertained. In the final episode of the season, we document the UK's bootleg tape industry, which began back in Coventry as the brainchild of Eclipse and Edge creator, the working class genius Stu Reed. Bad boy in the area.